Thank you. Last but certainly not least, we have Mario from Pollution.
Hello, and thank you for your time. I am Mario, and I represent Pollution Analytical Equipment. We are very lucky since in our cities, the fog covers the smog. Nevertheless, pollutants increasing levels are a serious concern, and monitoring these levels can enable cities to take corrective actions. This is one of the things we are dealing with since we set up the company in 1991 as reseller of analytical devices. In 2008, we built our first product, but the story began in 2015 when we started development of our Pico gas chromatograph that is going to change the way that gas analysis is done. Now, today, companies that need to analyze gas and their samples have to do that the old school way. They have to go on site to take the sample, then bring it to the lab, then wait for the analysis results, then return on site for further actions. Our solution brings the lab to the sample rather than the other way around. And we can do that shrinking the lab equipment onto a chip. We call that Pico GC. This solution saves time and money with transporting samples. It enables to continuous monitoring, and it eliminates the room for errors. It can also lower ownership and maintenance costs while still being compliant with government regulations. We are selling our devices in the environmental field, but we will go also on the quality and process. To be more precise and specific, this is our first product. We are selling it, it can measure carcinogenic compounds such as benzene, and it's very easy to be integrated into pre-existing monitoring stations. But these new devices we are already testing will be used to monitor the heating power of natural gas, the level of odorizers, to enhance the efficiency of well drilling operations, and to avoid premature fruit ripening. We are going to market utilizing distributors and system integrators for our environmental devices, while we are talking directly to the companies like natural gas companies, drillers, or fruit distributors. We have a number of customers and exclusive distribution agreements in Europe, and we have secured some purchase agreements for the natural gas devices. We won the biggest competition in Europe, and we have 2 patents issued. And why we are here, we are trying to meet companies, the companies I mentioned before, to discuss for partnerships. Now, let me end by explaining you what we are doing. When I was to the Computer History Museum, I tried that huge IBM computer, and it was incredible because today we can do amazing things with something much smaller. And that's because someone put all that electronic stuff on a chip. Now, imagine you can do the same thing with mechanical devices. It could change the world again. And that's what we are doing at Pollution Analytical Equipment, so our customers can bring the lab to the sample rather than the other way around. Again, I am Mario. If you want to talk more, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Would you discuss your unit economics? How much do you make on the sale of one of your unit, and are there monthly or quarterly consumables that would tie a customer to you for reoccurring revenue?
So our strength is that you don't need any consumable. So all of our competitors need canisters or something to be attached to the device. We can put the device in the middle of the desert and forget about it. What about the revenues? We are planning only for the natural gas devices to make 14 million in 2021, but we will start selling it at the beginning of next year. The only product we are selling is the first one about the environmental, and we're selling it since the beginning of this year. It's going good, so.
To follow on Stephanie's question about the unit economics, about each unit that you make, how profitable is the sale?
Yeah, so our costs are very low thanks to the chip technology. So we don't have to build a big multi-purpose device. We build just a very simple device with chips. But right now, the costs are not so low because we don't have so much volumes. We're partnering with a company that makes this kind of chips, microelectromechanical chips. And so in that time, when we will have a higher volume, we will be able to lower, again, costs. But again, we don't want to sell the device at a lower price. We want to sell the device at the normal price of the market.
This is a gas chromatograph, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Can it also be adapted to be used with solubles, waters, or solids?
No, right now we are focusing on the gas, on the pure gases and air. This is because the biggest market that requires our device is the natural gas one. We started with the environmental device because it was easier, but yeah, we're focused on arriving on the natural gas market. Thank you.